Downtown Sleepy Hollow. Virtually unchanged from when Washington Irving wrote The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Disclaimer. There are no jack-o'-lanterns, ghosts, or headless horsemen in this video. Sleepy Hollow is just not that scary. There is a little valley, or rather lap of land, among high hills, which is one of the quietest places in the whole world. A small brook glides through it, with just murmur enough to lull one to repose, and the occasional whistle of a quail or tapping of a woodpecker is almost the only sound that ever breaks in upon the uniform tranquility.
Bree, can you try not to film people? Because you can tell they're getting aggravated.
I don't care. No one's getting aggravated.
That guy just got...
Oh my god, it's the mill pond, it's the mill pond, it's the mill pond! Just hanging out at the mill pond with Ichabod Crane. Our man of letters was peculiarly happy in the smiles of all the country damsels, sauntering with a whole bevy of them along the banks of the adjacent mill pond, while the more bashful country bumpkins hung sheepishly back, envying his superior elegance and address. Ichabod Crane was kind of a gawky outsider in a Dutch farming community. So he was a school teacher, he was the only person who had read a couple of books. He was a singing teacher, and he sort of wormed his way into people's family lives. We're here at Phillipsburg Manor. This was not where the Van Tassels lived. Their original estate is now condominiums. So we're here just to experience what Ichabod Crane might have seen. As the enraptured Ichabod fancied all this, and as he rolled his great green eyes over the fat meadowlands, the rich fields of wheat, of rye, of buckwheat and Indian corn, and the orchards burdened with ruddy fruit which surrounded the warm tenement of Van Tassel, his heart yearned after the damsel who was to inherit these domains, and his imagination expanded with the idea how they might be readily turned into cash. Hello, Mr. Chicken.
And picking the wool. What do you do with the discards? Just drop them? Yeah, basically what's happening if you're holding it in one hand and pulling with the other.
Now just remember, you're doing this in the hottest months of the year. It's probably 95 degrees in this barn.
How did he make all this money? Why did he choose wheat? If you go back to the time frame we're talking about, 300 plus years ago, you're in the heyday of the slavery trade. Slaves.
One's electric too.
Can you film me petting
This
one?
one is actually like if I don't touch the fence.
The most formidable was a burly, roaring, roistering blade of the name of Abraham, or, according to the Dutch abbreviation, Bram van Brunt, the hero of the country round, which rang with his feats of strength and hardihood. Could that girl have been playing off any of her coquettish tricks? Was her encouragement of the poor pedagogue all a mere sham to secure her conquest of his rival? We are approaching the Headless Horseman Bridge. Oh, okay, wait for it.
I knew there was a bridge.
Huh? Headless Horseman Bridge. Alright. Described by Irving in The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. It formerly spanned this stream at this spot. These are the grounds that the Headless Horseman haunts. How often was he thrown into complete dismay by some rushing blast howling among the trees, in the idea that it was the galloping Hessian on one of his nightly scourings. All these, however, were mere terrors of the night, phantoms of the mind that walk in darkness.
The Hessian soldiers were soldiers for hire from Germany, hired by the British during the Revolutionary War. They had a reputation to be very good soldiers, very fearless. The Headless Horseman was thought to be a Hessian soldier that lost his head and was buried somewhere in the cemetery.
Huh!
Yes. You have dirt on your arm.
It's from crawling around in the grave. Go.
He's going to make it amazing.
Go.
It's great. Ichabod Crane is the real guy. He was buried in Staten Island. But Irving's revenge on him was making him into a dork.
Yeah.
He was really a guy that Irving met him when he was aide-de-camp to a general during the War of 1812 up in the Great Lakes region. So I guess he made an impression on them.
Yeah.
So he's buried in Staten Island.
We're too late to get tickets for Sunnyside, so we're just filming Washington Irving's pond. Guess this is where Washington Irving's carriage pulled around. This is the side of Sleepy Hollow nobody ever sees. It is the backside of Washington Irving's house with all the scaffolding and ladders.
There's always that edge of fear you might get caught.
I hear people.
Colonial clad, costumed people.
So we make a hasty retreat, discovering that the security guard at Sunnyside is the scariest part of Sleepy Hollow. But what happened to Ichabod Crane? The old country wives, who were the best judges of these matters, maintain to this day that Ichabod was spirited away by supernatural means. The ploughboy, loitering homeward of a still summer evening, has often fancied his voice at a distance, chanting a melancholy psalm tune among the tranquil solitudes of Sleepy Hollow. I feel like I said the word agrarian like 10 times.
You didn't that time though.
I didn't say it that time?
Nope. I'm filming here because that's really cool. You could put like the credits over it.
Okay.
Or read it.